how to focus on the tip of your nose for meditation. So, of course, across the board, you even hear, even Sadhguru says, focusing, you're going to go become cross eyed, it's going to be very painful, it's very uncomfortable, it's impossible, it is a stupid thing. But it's spoken of in the Bhagavad Gita. So, Sadhguru himself mentions that he hasn't studied the Bhagavad Gita. So how is it? And I've got my thoughts on it, and that's my primary method of meditation, and I will give you the secret of it in this video. So I would like to ask you a favor. If you like the contents of my video, please you do me a great favor by liking and subscribing. It's going to greatly help my channel to be able to reach out to more people. And if I could ask you just one extra favor to also share it to at least one other person or your one or two social media channels, this will greatly enhance my reach and be able to get my message to more people. And for those who don't know me, I am Osman. I'm a bioenergy healer on a master level with telepathic capabilities, specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses. And amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, having been practicing this art form for almost 50 years and teaching it for 44 years. And in that period, I studied under different masters from different schools of thought, different cultures, and across the globe. And to that end, I now have students in over 100 countries. I've created my own protocols that are simpler, easier, faster, quicker, more effective, more time efficient. And my favorite protocol is my 5 minute yoga and meditation protocol that you can download for free by visiting my website, yogawellness786.com, in exchange for subscribing to my blog, and where you can also get more information about my services. So also remember, my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. So coming to this meditating at the tip of the nose. So if anyone going to try it and you try to meditate or try to look at the tip of your nose, it's going to be extremely painful. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to feel, you're going cross-eyed, and it's not going to be a pleasant experience. So when they say meditate on the tip of the nose, is not physically look at the actual tip of the nose, right? But you should strive as though you want, because try to look at you're not going to be able to look at the tip of the nose. How are you going to find the tip of the nose? You can't see it. It's like impossible, right? So you can barely see maybe your nostril, something barely, and it's going to be painful. But it's like allegorical or figurative. So you try to bring your eyes as though you want to look at the tip of your nose, but somewhere here, let's say your finger, let's say somewhere here, but it's not to put your finger there. You'll find a spot where you feel like a calmness. You look here, look right, look there, and then you'll find there's a spot somewhere you feel slightly calm. It's like a calm spot. It what it's actually doing, it is like force engaging your third eye chakra, right? When you bring your muscle gently without forcing your eye to cross eye, you gently bring it, you just let your eyeballs drop and just like be loosely like that, in a comfortable, and you'll find, even if you don't find that calm, you just let it drop and go comfortable there. Yeah, before it becomes painful, it must be very comfortable, slightly forward, down and slightly forward like that, and you'll feel like, maybe I always, because from the beginning I always felt like a calm spot, and I used to always teach my students, go there, and it automatically half closes your eye, right? So this brings the meditation, whether you should keep it open, closed eyes or half closed eyes, right? So a lot of people, they say close your eyes because it avoids distraction. Some people say open your eyes because it's very hard to focus, with your eyes closed, your mind goes helter skelter, and you can focus on a point, on a light. So some people like to put a gentle light, not something very bright that's going to blind you, and blink when necessary and the thing. But with this is easy. It also makes a calmness. So all the other meditation styles, it's like you have a struggle to, because the first step of meditation is to relax and become calm. When you bring your eye, it's auto calm. Auto calm, like 80% of your problem, of your first step of meditation is solved just by looking there. So is it a surprise? Is it a surprise that is the default meditation advice that's given in the Bhagavad Gita? And then I heard a comment by Sadhguru that said, if you're going to try, meditating the tip of your nose, you're going to go crazy. It's going to be you're going to get twist-eyed, and it's very painful. It's a stupid. It's. He really commented negatively on it, but to his benefit, he says he's uneducated. Number one, right? He admits he's uneducated. He's warning people. Means you don't follow some. Although he sounds very, I mean, he says a lot of intelligent things. He's telling you up front he doesn't have education, right? Secondly, when people ask him about Bhagavad Gita, he gives very profound answers on, but he admits upfront he never read it. He never read the Bhagavad Gita. He may have taken one or two extracts of what he heard from it, but he never read it, right? So he doesn't understand. He never read the Mahabharata. He never read the Srimad Bhagavatam. He doesn't know, the deeper significances, and the person who's recommending it, that is not crazy to say focus on the tipper. Someone who is recite, it's considered a holy scripture, right? The Bhagavad Gita, and the personality is there. It's a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, and Krishna is revered as, of course, not only highly worshipped by many people, but among the Western people who don't know him, at least respect his knowledge and his wisdom and his status, at that time. At least that should be there. Do you think he's talking nonsense to doing, that? And you have to compare, is someone, whoever is a modern person, personality, be it Sadhguru, be he Ramana Maharishi, be it Gopi Krishna, or be it Yogananda or Vivekananda or Ramakrishna, can they compare to Krishna? Right? Ask him, what scripture have they wrote that lasted 5,000 years? Do you think their writings going to last? Already their writings are lost. So yes, Sadhguru is trending now. Is I think in 2023 he reached like 3.5 billion views and so forth. Amazing. But let's see him last 5,000 years, right? I mean, he's wrote bestseller books. Maybe he might, right? We don't know. Give him credit, right? Maybe he's the next Krishna, but I think those who hear the statement that he's the next Krishna may get offended, you know, from even the comparison, right? Because okay, let's not go too too much into that, and we're not here to criticize negatively, but I'm criticizing the negative comment, right? Amazing things that Sadhguru has done. He is the first person. He has initiated millions of people, but I have my reservations about that. But he's trying to catapult people. But when you initiate someone, you are there, you have opened a new life for them, right? You are closer to them than your own parents, because this person is opened up your spiritual life. He is like the next step before God, so to speak. Your spiritual master, right? And or your guide, your guru, your prophet, right? Is highly revered. I mean, he's not God, right? But it's a step. Is reaching out a hand. Is like intercession. Without him, you won't know. If he didn't initiate you and open your spirituality, how are you going to do it? If he didn't give that advice, you were lost, right? Now, you was once lost, now I'm found, right? In the uh, in the Psalms of David, was once lost, but now I am found, right? It's a song, in the church, right? So without these personalities, right, how are you going to get found, right? So great praise to them, but um, this one aspect on the tip of the nose, so I beg to differ, and I'm using as my cover, right, in my defense, I'm using the Bhagavad Gita of Krishna. right? As my defense. So if you're in a fight with me, fight with the Bhagavad Gita, right? Don't fight with me. I'm using this as my reason, right? And I'm giving you the example of how I do it, and I greatly benefit. So why will I want to meditate, close eye, open eye, this thing? If I got this immediately, any other way, it's like emptiness, right? Just my mind I have to control. But yeah, there's no need to control the mind. I just look there. I feel now I'm looking right. I feel that amazing calm instantly, instant calm, right? So of course you will have to get used to it, but as you're advancing, it is a major plus point in the development of your meditation. So I hope that information helps you. Take care of yourself always.